Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, Salim. Good evening, Kirti, Sagar, Lavanya. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mahesh. Right. I feel very happy taking all of your names, but because of the time constraint, so don't feel bad in between if I'm not able to take some of your names. I'm skipping it and randomly I'm taking few names here. Anyways, how was your day today from morning? Good evening, Monica. Very good evening, Rohit. Expecting as usual. Few more audience to start. Meanwhile, I would request those of my students who have joined on time, please go through the yesterday's class. The discussion, it was the second part of the discussion related to command line arguments. That is what we have been able to understand. What type of data can be sent? What if in case the user is not sending, but the program is expecting? What would happen to the program? There is an exception called as array index out of bounds exception that is going to be generated, because of which the program is going to be abruptly terminated. All of those niche cases, the boundary cases of command line arguments, is what we were discussing in yesterday's class. Please revise, everyone, the concept of main method and the concept of command line arguments. Meanwhile, let the VIPs join the session. And as usual, to my YouTube audience also, it's a humble request. Please hop over to the Zoom meetings. The link is going to be provided in the chat section. So use the Zoom meetings link there and get connected over Zoom. You can stop watching the YouTube live there. Almost, Purva. The Zoom link has also been pinned in the live chat section of YouTube Live. Please use it and get connected over Zoom. Others, please revise. There is going to be a Q&A discussion at the beginning now before I start speaking technically. So whatever I've spoken for the last two classes, randomly, you will be asked to answer the questions related to the last two classes. So please be prepared. Kindly revise. I can still see on YouTube there are 33 people who are still watching the live on YouTube. I'm giving you a better option here without any delay in streaming. The Zoom meeting link has also been provided there. Please click on that link and get connected over the Zoom meetings so that whatever messages also you would like to send me during the class, it could be some technical answer. Your responses, I will be able to see it easily if it is on Zoom. It is going to be difficult for me to navigate between two different applications while the class is going on. Please revise everyone. Revise the discussion on main method and command line arguments. Please get started, everyone. Right. Okay, we have hit 200 participants. I think this is more than enough, the amount of time that we have waited for everyone else to join. Let us get started immediately. Now, I would like to know upfront from all of you, do you want me to conduct this Q&A session, or shall I skip it and directly move on to the technical discussion? Or you want to test your understanding so far about this programming language called as Java? No, sir. If it is like a challenge for us, please go ahead, ask us some questions. We will be more than happy to participate and respond to you. It is going to be your call. So how many of you are ready for this Q&A discussion? Lakshmi, technical session. Why is that, Lakshmi? Are you not confident about the knowledge that I have imparted? Okay, do one thing. Those of you who would like to participate, raise your hand. Again, see, if you answer it wrong, what is the worst thing that can happen? I may tell you that it is not the right answer. I am not going to come looking for you, taking your address from the backend team and not going to put you in jail. No, nothing such would happen. At least you will be able to participate. I understand the intention, Lakshmi. Good. But we'll wrap it up in quick 5 minutes. So those of you who would like to participate in the Q&A discussion, please raise your hand is what I have told. I think by this time we have understood each other pretty well. So be careful if you're not raising your hand, and after a while, if the question is coming only to you, the tables can turn anytime. So, Aditya, anything should be fine. So are you trying to tell me out of more than 220 students, there are only 31 odd students who would like to participate in the Q&A discussion? Others are not confident about the knowledge that you have gained through these sessions? I know that you weren't present yesterday, Purva. I once again request my YouTube students, it could be Arshad, Naseem, Gauri, and others. Please, if you're responding to me on YouTube, I'll not be able to check your comments. Use the Zoom link that has been provided in the live chat, and please get connected over Zoom meetings. So please hop onto the Zoom meetings, everyone. I did see the message, Rohit. If it's permissible within the time frame, we will say. Just 47 students. Okay, let me check who has not raised the hand, and the question would be asked to that person. Now see, suddenly the hands raised, the count is increasing. Okay, I would ask quite simple questions. Don't worry about it. So please, somebody. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right or wrong. I see that there is a student called Haridavaram. Could you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Hello.
1 second, may I know who am
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Harshitesh.
Harshitesh, is it? Okay. Were you present for my previous sessions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Simple question. Tell me the standard signature of main method. What is the standard signature of main method?
Standard signature of
main method.
sir. Can I type or
I mean, you can speak, man. Anyways, your microphone is unmuted. Why?
the
Alan?
main method is entry in an end point of the executable program?
What was the question? Harshikesh, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the question?
Standard of main method.
Standard signature of main method. Are you not revising?
No, sir.
You're in which year currently now?
Third year.
Is that the reason?
Public static void.
This is quite late now. Who helped you?
What, sir?
Anyways, revise, man. Do not take these classes lightly. Understand, since you're in third year, still that seriousness with respect to placements may be lacking. Anyways, you can mute yourself. Okay, good that while I was asking question to him, some of you immediately responded to me in the chat as to what is the standard signature. Okay, I have another person. Ganga Prasad, could you please unmute? I see that your hand is also raised. Ganga Prasad, am I audible? I see that you have unmuted your microphone, but you're not audible to us. Okay, seems some technical glitch. You can mute yourself back. Next, Khushi Singh. Could you please unmute?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Now you're audible. Now you're audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No problem with the microphone?
No, sir.
Okay. I just want to know this, Ganga Prasad. What is the reason for declaring the main method with the public modifier?
So it can be accessed anywhere, sir.
Okay. Access, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why should we declare main method as static?
So it will be visible to the JVM, sir.
Good. And what about the static modifier?
It will give access to the JVM without object creation, sir.
Very good. Good, Ganga Prasad. Right. You can mute yourself. There was another person who had asked question. Khushi Singh, right? Khushi, am I
Hello.
audible?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are very clearly audible to us. Could you please define what are command line arguments?
Sir, the command line arguments are the data that are provided at the time of execution of the program.
From where is the data provided from?
User.
No, I understand that is coming from the user. How is it you're providing the data? Is it through scanner or is it through some other place?
Sir, when we compile the program after Java C, and we write the name of the program .java, and after that we write Java name of the program, and then we pass the arguments.
Correct. My question is, where is all of this exercise taking place? What is the name of the application?
Command prompt.
Correct. So you should be precise. The data is being sent from the command prompt to the Java program. Good question.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Mute yourself. Right. I think now we should be able to start with the technical discussion. One last call to all of my YouTube students. I see that there are approximately close to 50 students who are attending the session from YouTube Live. The Zoom link has already been provided. So if you would like to attend the same session over Zoom without any delay in streaming, you can get connected to the Zoom meetings. Right. Let's quickly get started. I'm sure all of you remember the last part of yesterday's discussion. Do you remember this? The alternative syntaxes of main method. Right. Now see, there is also one more syntax that I would like to add here. Though I think verbally somewhere in between I've spoken about it. I remember. I just forgot to mention it here. Anyway, I'll just include it here as the 7th version here. What is that, sir? It is going to be quite simple. See, definitely the JVM would expect the main method to be declared as public. There is absolutely no doubt about it. 100% it is supposed to be declared also as static. The return type of the main method should compulsorily be void itself. And of course, name of the method, no doubt, it cannot be changed. It should also be main. Next, and it should also have a mandatory parameter. Listen to this statement carefully. The main method should also have a mandatory parameter, the type of whom should be an array of strings. That means it is only with respect to the type the rule has been mentioned. Nobody has told the name of that parameter also should always be args only. Args means it makes sense. Arguments. This array is going to use it. It is going to be used to receive the arguments from the command prompt. That is why we usually name it. But is it compulsory, sir? We have to always name the parameter as args. You don't have to do it. It is your choice. For example, I would name the parameter as ExcelR. Is this program going to work, sir? Absolutely yes. But can I change the type of the parameter? That is not permitted. JVM would give the control of execution only and only to such a main method whose parameter type is going to be string array type. Only such a main method is going to be given the control of execution. Is that clear, everyone, all of you? This is just one syntax I wanted to add before I could proceed with the next topic. Right. Now, of course, the session is being recorded. You can make a note of all of this later. Now, let us quickly jump into the next discussion now. What is the next program, sir? I wish I had enough time for this training program to be conducted. If that was the case, first I would have given this as an assignment and I would have asked all of you to write me the code, give me the program code, only then I would have written it on my screen. Since we're running short of time, I'm going to directly write the logic for this particular problem statement on my screen. All of you try to help me through the Zoom chat here whenever I ask a certain question. Anyways, what is the problem statement, sir? See, the question is very simple. I mean, it is very rare if in case they're going to ask you this question in the interviews also. It is that basic, it is that easy here. But what is the question, sir? The question is very simple. Listen to this carefully. You just have a self-evaluation mechanism to yourself, and you see if this question is asked to me in the interviews, if tomorrow there is a placement drive, if I'm allowed to attend, and if this question is asked to me, will I be able to write this program code or not? What is that question, sir? I want all of you to think if you'll be able to write the code. It should be a Java program code wherein you should write a program to perform addition of two integer numbers. And these two integers, you're not supposed to hard code it within your program. You will have to take it as input from the user through the scanner class. That's all. This is all the question. Basically, write a Java program to add two integers, and both of those integers should be taken as input from the user. That is all the question is about. How many of you will be able to write the code for this question? If you say that you will be able to, I don't have any mechanism to verify it. I would just blindly trust all of you. If you can really write it on your own, then you should also help me do the same on my screen. Good, good, good. Now listen to this, everyone. Just check if this is how you are also, if it is on the same lines that you are also thinking of writing the solution for this particular problem statement, I'm sure you know what the question is. So I'm going to jump directly. I'll start writing the code here. So observe this. What I would be doing here is, first of all, I would like to create a class. I would call this class, or we'll do one thing. We'll create this class after a while. Maybe first what I would like to do here is, tell me. First, I would like to print a suitable message to the user here. All of you, please listen to this carefully. I would say system.out.println, and see, look at here, within this print statement here, within the double quotes, I would say enter the first number. This is the message that I would like to display to the user. The moment the user is going to see this message on the console screen, immediately he or she knows that now I'm supposed to provide an integer value as input to the program through the keyboard. But you know, whatever input that is being provided from the keyboard, if you would like to read it within your program, 100% you need to take the help of the scanner facility here. Or realizing this fact, what I would like to do is before this print statement itself, I would create my scanner object like this. I would say scanner scan is equal to new scanner of system.in like this. Is it clear, everyone, so far? Perfect, sir, because we wanted to make use, we wanted to read the input from the user at the time of execution. That is why we have created this scanner class. Great. Next word, sir. Next word means, yes, the program is not yet completed. I will add the import statement, not now, at a later point of time. Now that the scanner class is ready, I will immediately go ahead and whatever input the user is going to enter through the keyboard, now I will be able to read it onto my program. How, sir? Tell me, what is the reference to the scanner object here? It is nothing but scan. So see, that is what I'm going to tell. I would say scan. There is a method available within the scanner class, which is going to help in terms of reading the integer data. About this already in input-output streams. In detail, I've spoken about it. It is called nextInt. And whatever this nextInt method is going to bring the integer value to my program, I have to store it somewhere. Maybe I would store it in a variable called as, let us say, num1. And num1 would be holding what type of data? Integer type of data. And in Java, since it is a statically typed programming language, compulsorily every variable must be declared with a suitable data type. Hence, since this variable num1, it is going to hold integer value, I'm going to declare this variable with the integer data type like this. That is all I'm going to be doing it. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. Next word, sir. Next word means, observe this. I'll just use a bit of color coding so that things are going to be easy for us. After which, now immediately it is time for me, because you know, common sense it is, if you would like to perform addition operation, minimum 2 integers are going to be needed. This time, I'm going to display another message here to the user, enter the second number like this. And after reading this message, once again, the user is going to enter the data to me through the keyboard, which I'm going to scan it by telling scan.nextInt. And whatever integer value it is going to bring, this time I would collect it in a variable called as num2. Obviously, num2 is also going to hold integer value. That is why the data type of this variable is also going to be integer type like this. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. Next word, sir. Now that I have got both of the integers within my program, I can go ahead and I'll be able to perform the addition operation. But then I have got my own condition here. It is my expectations. I can decide what should be the constraints to my program for the addition operation to be performed. How will that be possible, sir? This is how, first of all, what is that constraint? This is that constraint. For some reason, I'm telling you, it is completely my wish. I can define however I want the conditions on this particular program. The constraint here is, before the addition operation is performed, I have to check the value of the first integer. Can you tell me where the first integer is going to be stored within my program? In the variable num1. Good, Purva. the first integer should be compulsorily greater than 0. Compulsorily. That means it can't be 0 or a negative value. As well as the second integer is supposed to be less than 100. Random. That is what I told you. It is my wish to set the constraints here. Now that I have set those two constraints, I'll have to verify them. Only if both of the integers are going to satisfy this condition, I should be able to proceed forward and perform addition operation. Else, I should simply tell invalid input. How can you do this, sir? Whenever you want to check for a condition and depending on the value of that condition, you want to execute a certain statement. Conditional execution is possible through a control construct in programming, which is technically called as the if statement. So see, I'm going to first check if in case I would check the first integer, which should be present in my variable num1. If in case it is going to be greater than 0. Not only this, I have got one more condition. The second integer num2 should be less than 100. You will understand why I'm concentrating so much on color coding. But see, whenever you would like to check multiple conditions together within an if statement, within an if condition, you have to use something called as the connectors. What are those connectors technically called as, sir? These connectors are nothing but the logical operators. There are three logical operators: and, or, and not. Depending on this scenario, do I want one of the two conditions to be satisfied, first condition or second condition? 100% no. I want both of the conditions to be satisfied. First condition also should be true. Second condition also should be true. Congratulations. Then between these two conditions, the operator that I'm supposed to use here is going to be the AND operator like this. Am I clear with this, everyone? Perfect. Next what, sir? Next what means, now depending on this condition, if this condition is satisfied, then I want this particular block of code to be executed. But in worst case, if this condition is not going to be satisfied, then I want whatever code is going to be written within the else block, that code to be executed. As simple as that. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the working of if else statement. I don't have to go in detail. Now, if you're not really familiar with the behavior of single AND operator and double AND operators, I'm sorry, it is going to completely deviate the topic. That is the reason why these double AND and double OR operators are technically called as the short circuit operators. Why are they called so? Not relevant for this discussion. Maybe sometime later I'll speak about it. Coming back to this particular problem statement. Sir, if in case the condition is going to be satisfied, what are you going to be doing, sir? Nothing. I will simply perform the summation here. I will perform the addition operation. So see, I'm going to tell, please add whatever is there in num1 with the value, whatever is there in num2 like this. That is all I'm going to be doing it. And the result, I would like to store it in a variable. This time, maybe I would call that variable as sum. And obviously, whenever you add two integer values, the result will also be another integer value. So this variable sum is also going to hold another integer value. That is why I would declare this variable also with the integer data type like this. Am I clear so far? Perfect. Now, once the sum addition operation is completed, immediately in the next line, I would like to print the result also to the user. Here I would say system.out.println. Now listen to me. This is my expectation. I don't want directly the value to be printed. Before the value, I want a certain message to precede the value. Only then the value should be appended to that message. What is the message, sir? Maybe a suitable message, man. I want to tell the result is whatever is the value, the final result, whatever value is there in the variable sum. For example, let us assume if the first integer is 10, second integer is 20. What is the sum going to be? 30. But I simply don't want 30 to be printed. I want the output as the result is 30. That is how it should be printed. How are you planning to do it, sir? Already about this I've spoken when I was speaking about the different ways of printing. I told you plus operator, whenever it is used between one string type of data and some other type of data, addition will not be performed. It is going to be concatenation. Good, good, Purva. Now, all of you, please listen here, everyone. See, this is how I'm planning to do it. Here, I would first tell the result is, and to this, I would like to attach. I should not tell the result is also. So, see, I should not myself hard code things telling the result is 30. I hope you are understanding. I just gave you a sample input example here. I don't know because as of now, I'm only trying to write the code. The development of the program is taking place. The actual values will be given at the time of execution by the users in the future. But I know one thing for sure. Whatever is the result, can you tell me which variable in my program is going to be holding that result? Very good. It would be present in the variable sum. All that I'm going to do now is I simply tell sum. That's all. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. Sir, this is going to be the case if in case the condition is going to be satisfied. What if in case first integer is not greater than 0, second integer is not less than 100? In that case, automatically control would jump to the else block, and within the else block, a simple print statement is what I would like to have. Here I would say system.out.println, and within this print statement, I would simply make an announcement telling invalid input like this. That's all. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. Great. Next what, sir? Next what means, see, I will also, okay, we'll keep it as of now. With this, now understand this. This rule already, while I was explaining main method, also have spoken about it. All of these are executable statements. If this is all your Java program is going to contain, will I be able to either compile or execute this program? Both would not be possible here. I have to follow the syntax of the language. What does the syntax say? All of these executable statements must be wrapped inside a method. Further, that method must be wrapped within a class. That is what I should be doing it. So see, observe this. That is what I'll be doing it. I would take all of these statements, put it inside a method like this. What is the name of this method, sir? You can give any name. A meaningful name is what we would be giving here. Maybe I would call the name of this method as the add method. And this is the opening of this method body. And finally, this is where I'm going to close this method. So tell me, the other day I was talking about method syntax. I told you every method should have 4 things, at least 3 things, excluding parameters. Name of the method, parameter is optional, then the body is anyways there. All of these statements are going to be treated as body. And finally, it should also have return type. What would be the return type? Since this method is returning nothing, obviously the return type of this method is going to be void like this. Is that clear? Did all of you understand so far? Perfect. Next what, sir? Next what means there is another syntax rule that we should be following. Just like how all of these statements must be wrapped inside a method, further, the method itself must be wrapped inside a class. So see, that is the next thing I'm going to be doing it. I would take this entire method and I would put it inside a class like this. How do we create a class? It is by using a keyword called as the class. But every class, just like a method, should also have a name. Maybe some meaningful name here. I would call this class as the addition class like this. It is your choice. All of these are the names which the users are deciding it. So this is how my program is going to look like. Is that clear, everyone, so far? Perfect. And next word, sir. Next word means, obviously, if I have to execute the program, tell me, operating system would come looking for which method? Very good, main method. Do I have main method within my program? I don't have it. So what is that I should be doing? For the sake of execution, I'll have to declare my main method. So see, that is what I would like to do it separately here. And do we know the standard signature of main method? Public, static, void, and the name of the method is going to be main, and it is accepting a mandatory parameter which is of string array type like that. So say congratulations, this is my main method. But once again, the same rules apply for main method also, that every single method in Java must be compulsorily enclosed within a class. Going by the rules, I would further take this entire main method observe this. I would wrap it inside a class like this. Sir, what is the name of this class? Sir, it is your choice. Why did we create this class? So that the application can be executed. It can be launched. So I would simply call this class as the launch class like this. Is it clear, everyone? But if I would execute the program, I will not be able to perform addition operation here. Why? Because the entire logic to perform the addition operation is written inside the add method. But which method operating system is going to execute? JVM is going to execute. It is going to be the main method. So what is it we should be doing? Basically, what you are expecting is from the main method, you want the add method to be called. And always remember, methods in Java, it is such an important statement. I would like to come on the main spotlight here. All of the methods in Java represent behaviors of objects. So if you would like to expose their behaviors, if you would like to showcase their behaviors, 100% first and foremost, the prerequisite is object has to be created in advance. Only then you will be able to call their methods, basically exhibit their behaviors. Is it clear, everyone? That is why if I have to call the add method, first thing I should be able to do is I should create an object of the class inside which add method is present. Tell me, what is the name of the class? Addition. Very good. So see, that is what I'm going to be doing it here. And can you tell me how do we create an object in Java? Very good. It is by using the new keyword. Here I would say new. Which class object do I have to create? It is the addition class object. The moment I do this, addition object is created, and to this addition object I have also assigned a reference called as A. That is what has happened here. Next word, sir. Good, congratulations. Now that the object is created using this addition object reference A, now will I be able to call the add method? Of course, yes. Why will you not be able to do it? Is that clear? Did all of you understand so far? Great, sir. Any other extra additions, deletions, sir? Nothing. This is all the program is. And of course, like somebody initially rightly pointed, since I'm making use of the scanner class within my program, I should also import it from the java.util package. That is what I'll do. I would go at the beginning of the program. I would say import, and here I would say from java.util package, a name of a class named the scanner class like this. At least now is the program complete, sir? 100% yes. Now my program code is completed. Am I clear with this, everyone? Did you understand so far? Now see, I'm going to speak about the different types of components, the different fundamental building blocks of a Java program that are present in this program. If you notice it here, some of the words here within the program, intentionally I've written it in red color here. Do you notice some of the words? And you notice that all of these words, we did not name them. I did not define a word called as static. This word is already known to the language. It has been already informed to the compiler as to what is the meaning of this word. All of these words that you see, which I have written it in red color, all of these are special words whose meaning is already known to the language compiler. Congratulations, my friends. Such words are technically called as keywords in any programming language. If you hear this thing, keywords, you should immediately know, hey, keywords means these are not the names which I will be creating in my program. It is not addition, it is not add, it is not sum. All of these names, who created it? We created it. You and I, we programmers are going to create it. But there are also certain words about this also in the last class I was speaking, last to last class. These are such words whose meaning is already known to the language compiler. Hence, we have to use it as it is. Is that clear, everyone? Perfect. Great. Next word, sir. That means, let me just see, it could be import, it could be class, it could be this word void, it could be new, it could be int, it could be if, it could be else. All of these things are technically going to be referred to as keywords whose meaning is already known to the language compiler, and whenever used within your program, it is going to signify some meaning to that particular context. Did you understand so far? So I'll just mention it over here that these are all nothing but the keywords. Oh, great, sir. We understood, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means, see, these are keywords. That means these words were not defined by the programmers. It was defined by the language. But at the same time, if you notice it within your program smartly here, we have also defined some new words within our program. We have done the naming ceremony of those components within our program. What do you mean to say, sir? For example, if you notice it here, the name of the class addition. Tell me, did James Gosling tell me, hey, Zabi, when you're teaching on 11th of October in 2023 to ExcelR students, that you should compulsorily name your class as addition? Nobody has told me this. I decided I could have called this class as maybe summation class. I could have called this class as maybe, let us say, the calculator class. I randomly decided that I'm going to name this class as the addition class. So who gave this name? Was it decided by the language or was it decided by the programmer? It was decided by the programmer. Similarly, the name of the method, should it be compulsorily add only? No, I could have called it as adding, my choice. This also is a name that was given by the programmer. Similarly, scanner object should be created, but to that object, look at me, what is the name of the reference, the pointer that would be pointing to that object? What should be given the name to that reference? Who decided it? Once again, it was decided by the programmer. So see, scan, it is my choice. You would have seen, some of your friends would have got used to creating a reference to the scanner object as SC. Their choice. The language is not going to, absolutely, it is not going to make any kind of comment on that particular thing. Permitted, go ahead, no objections at all. Is that clear, everyone? Also, tell me, where is the first integer going to be stored in this particular program? In the variable num1. Did somebody tell me that I should name this variable as num1 itself? Absolutely no, it is my choice. Num2, my choice. Sum, my choice. All of these are the names which you and I, as programmers, we have decided it. Congratulations. Such names are only technically called as identifiers. Why do you give name to something? Can you tell me what is the ultimate purpose? As simple as that. It is there in this name itself. It is to identify that particular component within your program. There are two classes in my program. How are you going to identify the first class? Addition class. How are you going to identify the second class? Launch class. And how are you going to differentiate between two methods? Once again, by their names. These names that we are going to give to different programming elements within your program code. Congratulations. Such names are technically referred to as identifiers. Am I clear with this, everyone? Congratulations. This itself is the second thing here. Second building block of a Java program. Now see, if you have to understand what really is the difference between a keyword and identifier, coming out of the programming language context here, in general, see, can you tell me how are you going to decide which are the valid English words or not? How are you going to decide this? As simple, I mean, you would have simply told me, sir, I would simply refer to the English language dictionary because all of the English words that are valid 100% should be found in the dictionary. All of those words in the same context, if I have to speak about in English literature terms, same thing is what is technically called as keywords. So what are keywords? Which you will be able to find in English dictionary. Those are keywords to English language. At the same time, see, for example, if I would ask you this question, listen to this, everyone. Do you know there is something called as in English, there is some word from the dictionary. There is a word called as message. Are you aware of this word? Yes, message means basically a certain text or certain information that is supposed to be conveyed to somebody, basically for the purpose of communication. That is what is called as message. Good. Its meaning is known to the English dictionary. I find this word in the English dictionary, so I am going to term it as keyword. At the same time, my question to all of you is, in the English dictionary, it is a question to all of you. Do you have a word whose name happens to be, let us say, okay, the name happens to be Maharashtra. Again, how did I create this word? Using only English alphabets here. Good, all of you have heard it so many times. Is this word present in the English dictionary? 100% no. That means this word is not defined at the language level. We have defined this word. We have defined this name called as Maharashtra to identify a place in a country called India. Basically, it is the name of a state. I hope all of you are understanding what the difference between keyword and identifier is. Did you all understand so far? Perfect, perfect. Let us proceed forward now. If you also notice it here, I should have written these numbers 0 and 100 also in different color. Anyways, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Lakshmi, I will repeat the definitions once again. Just give me a minute. All of the definitions, I'll repeat it. See, if you notice it here, within your program, there are such constant values. Basically, it is actually data, such constant values which are directly appearing within your program code. For example, don't you think to this print statement, within these double quotes, whatever I've provided the message, enter the first number, it is a constant value? Yes. In fact, these numbers that I'm using here for condition checking, 0 and 100, invalid input, the result is, all of these are constant values. The data which you did not take it as input from the user, which you have hard coded it within your program, you have directly coded these constant values within your program. Enter the first number, the result is invalid input. Enter the second number, 0, 100. All of these constant values that appear directly within my program, congratulations, they also have a name. What are they technically called as, sir? They are technically called as literals. Literals are nothing but constant values that appear directly within a program. Am I clear with this, everyone? That is why to demonstrate literals, I had to write that condition. I think now you're understanding why Zabi sir randomly thought about that condition. Anyways, so how many different components have we seen so far? Keywords. What are keywords? Special words whose meaning is already known to the Java compiler. Next, identifiers. Identifiers are basically names given to different programming components, different programming elements within your program code. Next, what are literals? Literals are nothing but constant values that appear directly within a program. Are we good so far? Perfect. Sir, is there any other building blocks? Sir, absolutely yes. If you notice it here, there are some symbols within your program code which are going to perform a specific job, which are going to perform a specific operation. Those symbols, very good, Purva. These symbols are technically called as the operators. If you notice this equal sign here, what job is it going to do? It is going to do the job of assignment operation here. This greater than symbol, it is going to check whether the value on the left hand side is greater than the value on the right hand side or not. This plus symbol here, it is going to perform addition operation. This plus symbol here, it is going to perform here concatenation operation. So all of these symbols that you see are going to perform certain operation. That is why technically they're called as operators. So understand this. I'll just put a mark indicating these things. What are all of these technically called as operators? See, unlike any other training organization, I could have directly given you the definition of each of these components separately. But I did this homework realizing that let me write a program, and in that one program, I am going to pick elements and I'm going to identify what each of the element is going to be directly to the students. That would be better when you understand with a programming example here. Great, sir. We understood. Is there anything else, sir? Now see, it's been exactly 1 hour since the class started. Meghna, I got the question. I'll answer to it later. Now listen to me. You should know, next int happens to be the name of the method. Name of any programming element is an identifier, Meghna. Whether you decide it, whether James Gosling is going to decide it. Anyways, now concentrate. It is exactly 8 o'clock. Now let us say, maybe for some reason, there is a student of mine who maybe got late by the time that person got back home from college for some reason, maybe traffic condition, something. Now suddenly he's going to log into the meeting and he's going to see this program on my screen. Do you think that person will be able to understand what the program code is, why Zabi sir has written like this? Quite difficult. That is why, I mean, not that difficult technically speaking, if that person would simply stare at my program. Okay, enter the first number, enter the second number, num1 plus num2, the result is invalid. Okay. Oh, basically sir has written the program to add 2 integers. He will realize it. But I want you to think from a real-time perspective. Whenever you're working on any real-life application, let us talk about the scalability of the application. It's very huge. And suddenly you happen to join a company where the project, where you have been put into a project where the project was started 3 years before. Already there is a solid code base for that particular project. Now you should also start contributing to the same project. Now, will you be able to understand all of the existing piece of code? So difficult. You should literally take 1 year of time only to understand the code of the current project, then line by line, what it does, why this function, why this class, why this package, what is this API call doing. That is why, to ease the job of the developers, whenever you try to implement a certain functionality, try to write a certain logic. Good, Mamta, good, Rohit. Immediately forget about helping somebody else. Sometimes it is going to help you yourself. Let us say you work on a project. Maybe for 5 long years, the client did not come back requesting an update into the application. After 5 years, the client has come back. Whatever code you had written 5 years before, now if you open and if you read code which is written by yourself, will you be able to understand? It is not going to be possible. That is why whenever you want to provide extra information, whenever you want to provide description about the code that you have coded in raw English format, just like how 2 human beings are going to speak in English, I want to do it by forgetting the syntax of the language. Is that possible, sir, to provide such an information? Absolutely yes. Good, Aryan. And such description about the program element is what we technically refer to as comments. So see, what I'm going to do is I would simply go to the program here, and here, maybe let us assume, I'm just taking an example here. Let us say Gautami has joined exactly at 8 o'clock, and she is all of a sudden asking me the attendance link without attending the class regularly. Now, she doesn't know what the program code is written for. I want to write here. I want to mention that information here, telling that, look, this is a sample program to understand basic building blocks of a Java program. Now, I can't simply write this statement and escape here. Then compiler will scold me. Hey, Zabi, what is this? What kind of a statement is this? We see that you're not abiding by the grammatical rules of the Java programming language. Correct. Compiler is going to scold me. There would be compilation errors. That is why I should inform the compiler, hey, compiler, please don't worry about this statement. This message is not for you. It is for future reference about this program code. It is just a description information that I have provided here. How can I ask the compiler to ignore this statement? Whenever you want this statement to be treated as a comment, you should make sure such lines, such statements are going to be preceded with 2 forward slashes like this. Whenever compiler sees this statement, compiler understands this statement. The job of compiling this statement is not my job. I don't really have to compile this. I have to ignore this statement because that is a comment. Are you understanding so far? Similarly, here I want to provide another comment here. Maybe here I would say this method performs addition operation. See, some random information, whatever you would like to add, you can definitely add it like this. Are you understanding? Sir, is it always compulsory to add a comment just before that element, before the class, before the method? Not necessarily. You can literally write a comment wherever you want. See, for example, I will write a comment here. I will tell this is going to hold first integer. That's all. And here maybe I will write this is going to hold second integer. And maybe here in the same line where you have written the if condition, if you want, you can also write here. I would simply tell condition checking. Whatever you want, you can write. And here maybe before main method, I would say this is the entry point of execution. Starting point of execution. Am I clear? Muhammad Rashid. Can we write in between of these statements? You need to give me an example. In between 2 statements or in between that 1 statement? If it is in between 2 statements, I have already done it here. Anyways, so see, what are all of these? If you ask me, these are technically called as comments. Where shall I add this information? Maybe I'll simply just add it over here. These are only technically called as comments. So what are the different things that we have seen so far? Keywords, identifiers, literals, operators. And then now we have also seen a new element within our program, which is called as comments. Perfect. Did you understand the reason why I discussed this program in today's class? I wanted to introduce all of these are basic building blocks of a Java program. It is only by using all of these things you will be able to build a program. That is the reason why. Of course, now in detail, next I'm going to speak about keywords, in detail about identifiers. For example, how many keywords do we have? Are there any rules with respect to keywords? Like all of the keywords, you'll find them, every single 70 of the keywords would be lowercase characters. Identifiers, what are the rules? Can I make use of keywords? What are the different permitted characters I can use to create an identifier? What are the different types of literals, special symbols used in literals, different types of operators, different types of comments? That is what I'll be discussing next. Did all of my students understand everything that I have spoken so far? I didn't want it to give a textbook definition. Hey, take down keywords. What does it mean? Operators. What does it mean? Identifiers. What does it mean? I wanted to introduce all of these different basic building blocks of a Java program through a programming example. And I hope I have been successful in doing so. Right? Perfect. Now, see, I'm just going to speak about one best coding practices. All of the developers I told you, they would be following certain coding practices, certain conventions. On the internet, usually this is what you would have seen. See, look at this. Whenever you start a block, tell me, how do you start a block? A block is something you have the code within this pair of curly braces. See, this is technically called as a block. And always on the internet, or if you would have opened and seen the code of any expert, experienced Java developer, you will realize always the opening curly brace of the block, to save the number of lines, they wouldn't open it in a new line. They would have opened it in the same line wherever they have specified what type of a block it is. Sir, what do you mean to say, sir? What I mean to say is basically, this is what I'm talking about, man. See, this curly brace that you see here, what does it indicate? All of you please answer. It indicates it is the opening of the class. See, I'm not going to write it over there. If I write it in the next line, is there any problem? No problem. But this is what all of the developers are going to follow. They would write it in the same line where they have started the class like this. Rohit, I'll not be able to make that statement, but okay, understand this now. Coming to the method also, sir, can the same thing be applicable for method also? Absolutely, yes. See, this opening curly brace that you see here, you don't have to necessarily place it in a different line. If you want, you can put it in the same line where the method has been started like this. Usually, I mean, I don't know how many of you have actually done it. I know that all of you are so busy. Your entire day schedule is so packed up. You have so much of meetings with some of the industry veterans that you don't find time for yourself. I understand it. If there is any legend here who has been able to take out some time and who has been able to go to the internet and look to solve some of the code snippets, because see, I told you in the interviews there is a change in the trend these days. Gone are those days where the first round in the interviews would only be aptitude round, where you will have questions only from quantitative aptitude or logical reasoning or verbal reasoning. These days, from the first round itself, they will start checking your technical competency. There is a separate section in the first round in the aptitude question paper itself called as technical aptitude. We technically call it as technitude, where you will have small code snippets provided, and they will sometimes ask you to find out in which line do you think the syntax error is going to be shown. They might ask you to predict the output of a small code snippet. So by this time, you should have definitely started, at least since yesterday, the topic of command line arguments was completed. What is stopping all of my students from going and Googling this in the internet? MCQ questions on command line arguments in Java. Trust me, you will find at least some 200 to 300 questions on the internet. Even if you go to first 3 to 4 websites that are going to pop up on the Google homepage. When you see those questions there, you will not see the curly braces in most of the websites will not be placed on different line. It would be placed in the same line. Then you should not be confused. Hey, what is this? Zabi sir, when he was teaching, he used to write the curly brace in the next line. That is why I'm teaching this. Anyways, similarly, whenever you have this opening curly brace indicating the opening of the if block, that also, if you want, you can write it in the same line like this. See, you can do it. Absolutely okay. And similarly, see, this opening curly brace that you have indicating the opening of the else block, that also, in fact, you can write it here itself. This is what I wanted to speak at the end. Am I clear with this, everyone? Did you all understand so far? Also, if you notice it here, whatever code, listen to me, everyone, to my YouTube students also, I see that there are 60 of them who are attending on live YouTube. Please, the link is available. Amar sir has already pinned the comment there in the live chat. Use the Zoom meeting link and get connected over the Zoom meetings. Okay, now understand, now concentrate here. Listen to this. If you notice it here, whatever code that comes within a block, whatever code that comes within a block, I am not starting the code for the body at the same level. What do you mean to say? See, this is what I mean to say. Where am I starting the class? If you notice it here, this is where I'm starting the class. And whatever comes inside the class, can you tell me what is there inside the addition class, everyone? We have the add method. But did you see, did I start add method at the same level where I started the class? 100%. No, I gave a certain space here. Similarly, if you notice it here, this is the level at which the add method is going to be defined. I'll just draw lines here. Whatever code that should be written inside the body of the add method, if you notice it here, for the sake of readability here, I am not writing it immediately at the same level where I've started defining add method. Here also I've given a certain space. Similarly, the body of the if block also, see, this is your if block. Don't you see here also given some space here? Sir, if I don't give this space, will my program not work, sir? Don't worry, this is not Python, this is Java. In Python, it would have not worked. Sometimes you'll commit mistakes because of indentation. But in Java, indentation is not a compulsion. It is only to improve the readability of your code. Just imagine how my program would look like if I did not give any spaces. Class addition, void add, everything in the same level. It would look quite clumsy. That is why the spacing has to be given. Anyways, sir, what is this technically called as, sir? This is technically called as indentation, giving space to indicate the statements written within a block. I again repeat, it is not mandatory, it is optional. Do not forget this. And usually, what is the indentation, sir? We usually give one tab space for one particular block. That means, can you tell me how many tab space would be given for the if block body here? In total, 3. One for the method inside the class, the statements inside the method, which is if, and another the body of the if block, that is going to be 3. Anyways, one level of indentation, how is it supposed to be specified? With one tab space. Optional only for the purpose of improving the readability of the code. That is why this has been done. Anyways, I know it was a lot of information, but I hope with this example that I have introduced all of these elements, things have become quite clear. And many of you might have already been aware of these components, but today I hope it has added more knowledge to your current understanding. Right then, so if you want to take a screenshot or just do whatever you want, you can do it. And meanwhile, Amar sir.
Yes, please tell.
Can you please share the attendance link to this student?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So take a screenshot of this and also complete providing the attendance as well as the feedback. You're going to be given 4 minutes of break. 8:20 sharp, the class is going to continue. I'll just put it in full screen mode. Please complete the attendance, everyone. Right. Have all of you completed providing the attendance and the feedback for today's class? Right. Now let's proceed forward and understand what each of these 5 building blocks are in detail. That means next, about keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and comments is what we're going to understand. Maybe till the end of tomorrow's class also, this is the topic around which the class is going to be revolving. So let me just clear everything from the screen. I would be happy without me explicitly giving the instruction if I will be able to see a regular activity on your LinkedIn account. Don't expect me to tell you, remind you every day that you should keep having some or the other kind of an activity done on your LinkedIn account. And you should also know how to build it from the scratch, how your LinkedIn profile should look like, what should be there in your bio, all of those things. At least if you don't know, look at somebody else's LinkedIn profile and accordingly build it correctly. Right. Next, what are we going to be understanding, sir? The first thing that we are going to be understanding is something called as the identifiers in Java. That is what we are going to understand. See, just now I told you what are identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but names given to programming entities. Entities such as, it could be a class, it could be a method, it could also be a variable, it could be an interface, it could be an enum, it could be a package, it can be anything. Whatever names that you are going to give to different programming entities within your program are only technically called as identifiers. Of course, you should be careful. Identifiers are the unique names. This is important. And why do we have to give names? I don't have to explain in that part here. It is for the purpose of identification. It is to identify that particular entity within your program. Is that clear, everyone? Can you give an example, sir? Just now I had given an example. Anyways, I'll write it once again. Let's say we have a class called as the addition class. Within the addition class, we also have a method called as the add method. Within this, we have many statements, and in between, we also have a statement called as int num1 equal to something something. Now, just observe this. The class name, which is addition, the method name, which is add, the variable name, which is going to be num1, all of these are only technically referred to as identifiers. As simple as that. You don't really have to complicate your understanding. That is great, sir. Next word, sir. Next word means, now see, there are few rules that you need to follow. To be very precise, there are 5 rules. Whenever you want to define an identifier, what are those rules, sir? That is what I'm explaining. Concentrate here. I'll not write lengthy statements for the rules. I'll just speak about them verbally, and then I'll mention whatever is necessary. Only that part on the screen here. Now listen to this. The first rule says, what are the permissible characters that you can use the characters from the character set to create an identifier? What do you mean to say, sir? Basically, can you use every single character that is available to create an identifier within your program? The answer is no. You should use the characters only from this set. What is that set, sir? You can use the characters ranging from small letter A to small letter Z, capital letter A to capital letter Z. You can use it from 0 to 9. And along with these alphanumeric characters, you can also use 2 special symbols. What are those, sir? Either you can use underscore and you can also use, either you can use dollar and you can also use underscore like this. Yes, Rohit. Am I clear? Congratulations. That itself is your first rule. That means, oh, did I just delete it? Unable to stare at the screen. I'll just see, understand? I'll anyways write it. No, Aniket, I tried, it's not stored. Anyways, so what is the first rule? I told you, for you to define an identifier, to create an identifier using the characters, you should make sure the characters are going to be used only from this particular character set. For example, small letter A to Z, capital letter A to Z, 0 to 9, and two of these special symbols. One of them happens to be $, the other one is the underscore. Is that clear, everyone, so far? For example, okay, I'll give some examples here. You have to tell me whether these are valid or invalid. Let us say if I would create a class like this, maybe class addition @ operation like this. I want to create a class by the name addition operation. In between, I have used this special symbol as @. Please be quick. I want all of you to immediately answer to this. Valid or invalid? Parvati, you should notice. See, this is the identifier here. And to create this identifier, am I using the characters only from this character set, or are there also any special symbols that I'm using here? Absolutely, yes. You see that I'm using @. And is @ part of this character set? No, then 100% it is not going to be permitted. Did you understand? Similarly, let us say I would create a method something like this. I would create a method, maybe void adding let us say 2 adding 2 numbers. Oh, before I could ask, some of you have already decided that it is invalid. Valid or invalid, please be quick. I'm waiting for your responses here. Now, why is it invalid? Because is it because I'm using an hyphen symbol here? Okay, I'll replace this with an underscore. Now, is it valid? Very good. Even now it is invalid, not because I'm using the number 2. Hey, I told you the digits 0 to 9 can be used here. Good. In fact, I'm using a special symbol here, which is the hash symbol, the pound symbol. I'm using it here. That is the reason why it is going to be invalid. Did you understand so far? Now, one last example for the first rule. Let us say I want to name my variable. So this is how I'm going to name it. Num1. So I'll tell num1 from user equal to scan.next into whatever that is there. What do you think? Is this valid or invalid? Very good. This is also invalid. Why? I told you in between multiple words, you can use underscore, because see, underscore is permitted, but here we are using hyphen. That is the reason why it is going to be invalid. Anyways, did you all understand? Now, finally, one last thing is what I'm going to ask. Now, you please think an answer. Within your Java program, if you want to name anything, for example, let us say you want to name another variable. Let us say that variable has got multiple words. Maybe here I would say sum of 2 integers like this. In English, how do you separate multiple words? With a space. Can I do the same thing in Java? What do you think? Is this valid or invalid? Very good. Now I hope all of you are understanding why either we have to place underscores in between, or we have to make sure we use the camel case convention, where after the first word, the subsequent words first letter is going to be capitalized. Because white space, a space character, is not a permissible character in Java whenever we have to define an identifier. Did you all understand so far? Perfect. Now understand the second rule. Let us at least try to complete the 5 rules related to identifiers. What is the second rule, sir? The second rule says your identifier cannot start with a digit, as simple as that. It is a straightforward rule. That means digit is definitely permitted. You can use it in between. You can use it at the end, how many ever times you want, but you will not be able to start an identifier with a digit. For example, let us say, if you ask me this question, sir, let us say I want to name a variable int temp1, valid or invalid? This is definitely valid. Why? Because the digit is not at the beginning, it is at the end. Similarly, if I would say int te1mp, is this valid? Absolutely yes. But if in case I tell int 1 temp, my friends, this is not valid. Am I clear? Sir, what if in case I start a variable name with underscore symbol, with the dollar symbol, I start a variable with the underscore symbol? That is permitted, though it is not recommended, but it is going to be valid. You will not get any compilation error. That means out of all of this, the only thing that is going to be invalid is this third declaration statement, where we are trying to start an identifier with a digit. Did you understand? Straightforward rule. This is nothing more for me to explain. Am I clear? Perfect. Now let us say this is going to be my third rule over here. I will first write these statements, then I'm going to ask you whether it is valid or invalid. You have to tell me. If I would create a variable which is of integer type, and the name of the variable is going to be if, and I give the value 45. Next, I create a variable with the name class, and I give the value 23. I create a variable with the name, let us say, okay, first tell me, are these two reasons valid, these two declaration statements valid or invalid? I'm waiting for your answers here. Please remember, these two statements are invalid. Why, if you ask me? That itself is the third rule here. You cannot make use of any of the reserved words. I told you about keywords, right? Keywords are also technically called as reserved words. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. If you notice it here, don't you think this word called as if already has a certain meaning to the language? Yes, it is going to be used for conditional statements. This word called as class already has a certain meaning. It is used whenever you want to declare a class. Basically, these are keywords. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Am I clear with this, everyone? Did all of you understand so far? Now let us say I have a small question to all of you. If in case I create a declaration statement like this, is this valid or invalid? Int void is equal to 33. Those of you who are saying it is invalid, you need to pay a little bit closer attention to this statement. See, I understand void is a keyword in Java, but that keyword void starts with a small letter V. If you notice it here, intentionally, I've written it with a capital letter here. That means definitely it is going to be valid. There is absolutely no problem with this statement. This void is not a keyword because I told you we human beings are case insensitive, but Java is case sensitive. For Java, void is the keyword starting with a small letter v. That means if I had written the same statement like this, then definitely it is going to be invalid. Did you all understand so far? Finally, one last check to check your understanding. Now you tell me whether it is valid or invalid. It is not that easy, so do not jump to the conclusion. Think and then answer. Int scanner is equal to 75. Think and only then jump to the conclusion. Okay, time's up. You have to answer to me now. Valid or invalid, quickly. I think some of you are so smart, you are trying it directly in your computers and then you're trying to tell me the answer, whether it is valid or invalid. Okay, time's up. Time to know the answer. Is it valid or invalid? 100% it is a valid statement. Sir, scanner is already a reserved word, sir. How can we use it? Who told you it is a reserved word? What is scanner actually? Can you tell me? Scanner is the name of a class. Just like how Aditya within his program has created a class called as the addition class. Similarly, James Gosling has created a class whose name he has given it as scanner. It is not a reserved word. It is an identifier. But that identifier is in a different context. It is there in java.util package. Doesn't mean I can't use it within my program in my own package here. Definitely I can use it. I think previously Meghna or somebody was asking to me, next int, scanner, system, println, all of these are names. Names means these are identifiers. These are not keywords. Am I clear with this, everyone? Right, perfect. Now understand this. So we're done with the 3 rules, 2 more to go. The next 2 rules are going to be quite simple. See, this is the 4th rule, wherein if in case in the same program, see, in the same program, if I create 2 variables like this, what do you think is going to be the output? First of all, will the program compile fine or not? If it is going to be a valid program, then what would be the output? In the same program, I'm trying to declare 2 variables with the same name, temp and temp. Valid or invalid, Akshay? The 4th rule says that the identifiers are case sensitive. That is why these 3 statements are valid. In fact, here, when you try to print the value of temp, you're going to get the output as 55 like this. Am I clear with this, everyone? No, Sairaj, where were you, man? We have gone much farther than main method. Okay, understand the next rule here. This rule is quite simple. I mean, it is only if you want to become a good developer, and that is when this rule is going to be applicable. See, whenever you want to name an identifier, all of us now know what set of characters have to be used. But then, is there any upper limit to the length of an identifier, the number of characters that can be used? So you've told me I can use alphanumeric characters at the same time $ and underscore. Okay, let us say I'm going to name a variable like this. continues. In between dollars also. This is what I'm asking. Is there any upper limit to the length of the variable? Good, Akshay. See, there is absolutely no limit at all to the length of an identifier. You can define an identifier with any number of characters in it, but then there is a convention. It is recommended to have the optimum length of an identifier ranging between 4 to 15 characters. That should be the, on an average, this is the length that is going to be recommended here. Am I clear? And it is not recommended to create identifiers within your program where you tell int x, int y, int a, in the for loop and all, int I, all of such names should not be given. You should make sure whatever variables that you are going to create, the name of the variable itself should signify why this variable has been created. Just like how we created int num1. Boss, in the addition program, this variable is going to hold the first number. Is that clear, everyone? Anyways, I was trying to tell you. It should have an optimum length of 4 to 15 characters. Done. So these are the 5 rules concerning the usage of identifiers. How do we define identifiers? These are the rules that one is supposed to keep it in mind. Right. Please try to remember these 5 rules and let me know if you guys have any doubts. Is it done, everyone? Any questions? 5th one, please once again repeat. What is the 5th one? The optimum length of an identifier, right? There is no upper limit as to how many characters can be present within an identifier, Lakshmi. But what is recommended in the industry is it should have minimum 4 to maximum 15 characters. Of course, there can also be an identifier less than 4 also, but this is recommended. It is advisable. That is what it means. Up to 32 characters. You can give beyond 32 characters also. Okay, I see some other doubts also. Let us keep it at the end of the class. We have still got 13 more minutes. That's a lot of time for me. Now, understand here, everyone. I'm going to erase everything on the screen. See, this is all about identifiers. Next, understand. We are now going to understand about the keywords. What are keywords? I once again straightforward give you the definition here. Keywords are such special words whose meaning is already known to the compiler. Such words are only technically called as keywords. And I'm sure some of you have also heard another synonym for the same thing called as keyword. Some of them also refer to them as reserved words. Sir, can you tell us the reason as to why keywords are called as reserved words? See, the meaning is very simple. Okay, I'll give you an analogy here. See, whenever you walk into a very popular restaurant, usually you will find very difficult to get a table for your family. And on some of the tables, have you seen there would be this card reserved tag would be kept on the table? What does it mean? Can you go occupy the table? 100% no. It has been reserved for a specific set of people, for a specific family. It's already booked. We can't go and use it once again. Now I'll tell you the rule. In identifiers, can you tell me what was the third rule of identifiers? Who can tell me? What was the third rule of identifiers? I'll myself tell you. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. They have been reserved for their own purpose. That is the reason why keywords are also technically referred to as reserved words. That means, you see, you need to understand this sentence here. I think then you'll get it better. They are going to be reserved from use. Sir, how can I use keywords, sir? You might try to use a keyword as an identifier, but you think an answer. Is that permitted in Java? Can you use an identifier as a, can you use a keyword as an identifier? It is not possible since it is reserved from using it as an identifier. That is the ultimate reason why keywords are also referred to as reserved words. You cannot use it as identifier. They should be used for their purpose only. Whenever you are interested in creating a class, only then class should be used. Whenever you're interested in terms of creating a loop, then only then maybe for, while, do should be used. Did you people understand the reason why keywords are also called as reserved words? Because they are reserved from use. They cannot be used as identifiers. This is the reason why keywords are also called as reserved words. But sir, we want to know, sir, in Java, in total, how many keywords do we have? Great, I understand your curiosity here. Let me just take you to the browser here. See, what I would simply do is keywords in Java. I'm sure you're able to see my screen. I'm sure I would want the Wikipedia article. See, if you go to the this Wikipedia article, which has listed all of the Java keywords, if you scroll down, see, alphabetically, they have arranged all of the keywords: abstract, assert, boolean, break, byte, case, catch, char, class, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, extends. So if you notice it, they have organized it alphabetically. Now, what I have done is, if you try to remember these keywords alphabetically, literally there is no other option. You have to mug it up. You have to by heart it. But then there is a much better way to remember the keywords. What I have done is, there are approximately 70 keywords. I think 70 or 72. I'm not sure with the numbers. All of these keywords, I have put it into separate bucket, depending on the context, depending on the concept that these keywords are related to. That is what it means. What do you mean to say, sir? You will be shocked and you will appreciate when you see my way of representing the keywords. Just 1 second, I have that presentation with me. Much better way of understanding keywords. What I have done is I have segregated it topic wise so that it will be easy for you to remember. So see, observe this. I have not arranged them alphabetically. As you can see at the top, I have created separate sections here, depending on the concept here. First, all of the data types related keyword: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean, void, var, and enum. Next, control flow, modifier, exception handling, class, object, special symbol, literals, unused and obsolete keyword. These are the different keywords that are available in Java. Now, will it be possible for you to understand at this point of time the purpose of all of these 70 keywords? No, understand this. If you understand the purpose and significance of every single keyword in a particular programming language, that is when you will be certified that you have mastered that particular programming language. So if anybody here is thinking of mastering Java, then you should keep all of these 70 keywords as an index. One by one, I understood what is the purpose of this. I understood what is the purpose of this. The day you're going to understand the meaning of all of these 70 keywords, congratulations, you have mastered that particular programming language. Is that clear, everyone? Anyways, only for your reference, you can take a screenshot of this and it's better not to post it on the internet because this is my intellectual property. I've done a lot of hard work to create this. You can just take a screenshot and keep it for your reference whenever you want to recollect what are the different keywords in Java. And do you also notice there is an important conclusion about all of these keywords? Do you see even a single keyword starting with a capital letter or anywhere has a capital letter in between? You will not see. That is another fact about these keywords. All of these keywords are going to contain only and only lowercase characters and nothing else. Small letters. Did you understand? That is another conclusion. Maybe you have to note it down somewhere. Right, perfect. So enough for today. Identifiers and keywords, the discussion is done. Tomorrow, we'll move forward and understand the remaining three building blocks. We are left out with literals, operators, and comments. I think tomorrow, easily in the first 1 hour, I should be able to wrap it up. Right then, if you people have any doubts, any questions for me, now is the time. You can please go ahead and post your questions to me in the meeting chat, as the YouTube audience also can do the same thing. I'll just have a look at the chat there as well. And you can send me the questions. There is an important announcement. I would just connect with Amar sir and I'll be back in a while. Okay, here in the classes, take 1 month classes, sir. I am as excited as all of you are. I just hope I could have extended these classes, but nothing to worry, since in between, because of my personal reasons, because of the health reasons, I had to skip here and there 1 or 2 classes. So I have got the go ahead from the ExcelR team as well. So the classes would be extended for another 2 more days. That means today is what day? It's Wednesday. So Friday would be the last class for this particular EDL program. So tomorrow also we are going to have another class, and Friday also we are going to have another class. And I hope all of you have not forgotten. At the end of the program, there is going to be a final assessment that would be conducted. And the score of that assessment is also going to decide whether or not you are going to be provided the certification for this training program that we have conducted. And how important this certification is, I think now that my students, for the first time in 21 years of your life, in 22 years of your life, I'm guessing your age, you have been officially onboarded on the LinkedIn platform. Now you should know the importance of every single certificate. Complete any kind of training, any kind of internship, any kind of project, you have to make sure you're going to immediately showcase it to the world with whatever the endorsement that you have got for that particular project. So these certificates also, I would expect all of you to please post it on LinkedIn once these certificates have been issued to all of you. Right now, any questions for me today, you can please go ahead and post it across. And I see still, I'm happy to see that there are 250 students still in the session, though I have told you the class is done. And on YouTube also, I'm able to see at least 50 participants. So approximately 300 students, but not all of you are following all of the updates of ExcelR as well on LinkedIn. You remember the other day I had asked all of you to send me a follow connection request. Similarly, it is important. Do I have to explicitly spoon feed you all of these things? So make sure all of you are also going to follow the ExcelR LinkedIn page as well as the YouTube channel. I see every day, once after the class, I'm very excited to go back and check what comments were sent during the class, how many of them have liked my class. Some of you are so, how do I put it across? So self-obsessed with giving a like, also giving a comment also. Please don't do it. It means a lot for all of us. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel of ExcelR. You're able to see that it is not only full of fundamentals on full stack development. The training is being conducted under the EDL program. There is a training which is happening on cybersecurity. There is a training which is happening on blockchain. There are many programs in the pipeline for all of you. So it is important that you don't miss out on any of the updates from ExcelR team. So the other day I had asked it for myself personally, but it is important you also do the same thing for the company that I'm working for. So please make sure all of you will do it right away itself. It's important to hold your hands. And there is also an important announcement with respect to the assessment. Do not leave, stay back. Amar sir, could you please send the LinkedIn ExcelR link? I know we can easily find it on LinkedIn, but please excuse us. We are very lazy species.
Yeah, no problem. I will share that.
He is going to send, and also I see on the YouTube, hardly we have still been able to get around 7.5K subscribers. When we have got such a fan following out in the colleges that everybody knows our brand name, ExcelR is known for quality training. Then why is it we're not able? Some random person who does some game streaming on YouTube, if that person is asking subscribe to my channel, like, oh, everybody does it. But an edtech company that is trying to upskill the youth of this country, people don't want to give it back. I'm really clueless as to where are we actually heading. Anyways, so Amar sir has already shared the LinkedIn link, the handle for the ExcelR company. Please click on that, and I want all of you to immediately follow that. Once again, I'll just have a check as to how many current followers are there. I have to see that it increases by 250 today. Just copy pasted everyone. We have got 31,000 followers, 31,400. I want it to increase by another 250. Do it right away. Rohit, it's not possible to refer to one book, and that is not how the training is also being conducted here. So there are many resources. The best resource would of course be the official documentation, Rohit. Already following? Good. Others, please do it immediately. The link has been sent. I want all of you to follow the ExcelR LinkedIn page so that you will be updated with any kind of training program that is conducted under the EDL learning program for you people. Please make sure you do it. And of course, I don't have to tell you, those of you who are not following me, please also do connect with me. Done? Perfect. And I saw that there was a question from one of these students. Java or Python, which has more craze nowadays in companies, sir? I think this question, I'm seeing it for the second or the third time here. As a fresher, it's very simple. I'll better do this directly in front of all of you. Are you able to see my screen if you want? See, I'll just go to indeed.com. Search. Okay, see, I'm just going to search with the keywords here. I'm going to tell that I need for Java, and I will give the city as Bangalore. And I will say find jobs. Here I want to also select the experience level also, if it is possible. Sure. Okay. Since maybe I'm not signed in here, we don't want within 25. Okay, I think when I select the other filters, it is going to do basically this, or I just check in general for everyone. Okay, so we have got 9,600 jobs approximately only through this one platform. Next, if I would just change it to Python. Okay, here we have got 9,700, and here I don't know why this 25 kilometers filter is. Some other job portal. We'll say now free. I want to search how many jobs are there for Java and experience. Let us say 0 experience for freshers. Okay, we are able to see 6,700 change jobs. And now if I would search for Python as freshers, and here also the experience is 0. And you can see for both Java and Python, in both of the platforms, we are able to have almost the similar number of jobs. But for Python, if you see, most of them would be related to the domain of artificial intelligence also. Anyways, here it is all 0 to 4, 0 to 2. We have found one EAML class. Intern, junior. Anyways, basically what I'm trying to tell you here is both of the languages have the same kind of relevance in the industry today. If there is one such programming language that has been vastly used by the industry over the last 2 to 2.5 decades, for the last 25 years, trust me, it is definitely Java. Python has come to the limelight only after 2015 because of this boom in data, because of these niche domains started emerging, the domain of artificial intelligence, the domain of data science, the domain of deep learning, all of these things. Now see, in data science domain, if you're working as a mathematics professor, who has a PhD, now you want to move to IT industry, is it possible, sir? Of course, yes. 15 long years you're working in a non-technical role. Now you want to get into IT industry as a data scientist who has got a PhD in mathematics. Is it possible today? Yes, it is possible. But once you want to become a data scientist, sometimes you should also be implementing machine learning algorithms. And how do you implement an algorithm is basically a step-by-step procedure. How do you implement it? To implement it, you need a programming language. Now, is it possible for this person who holds a honor degree in mathematics to learn a new programming language only for the sake of solving that particular problem by implementing a machine learning algorithm? Not possible. All of these people started seeking for the most easiest programming language when it comes to the syntax. And you and I, both of us know it is definitely going to be Python. That is why this popularity of Python slowly and slowly rose only after 2015, because people who are completely from non-IT background, started switching towards IT for the sake of these niche roles in data science domains, in artificial intelligence domains, and they obviously wanted to pick up a very easiest programming language. That is why they chose Python. So with respect to relevance, I have taken you to two of the two famous job portals, and you're able to see both the job portals have almost the similar kind of a response when it comes to both of the languages. But any day, in my experience, I have seen a person who is going to do a course or learn a programming language called Java, later want to learn Python. This transition is going to be easy. But if you do the other way around, what do you mean to say, sir? सबसे पहले हम Python सीख लेंगे. And once you get into the company, maybe your project manager is asking you, look, there is a new project that has come up. You have to learn Java, and this project is supposed to be implemented in Java. You will leave the project, you will leave the company, but you will not be ready to learn Java. I mean, this is the law of the nature. Any day, the transition would be smooth when you're moving from easy to hard, difficult to easy. If anybody is going to ask you to make a transition from easy to difficult, obviously it is a human tendency. Our system wouldn't just agree with it. So now the ball is in your court. I have given you the differences, which one should be learned as the first object-oriented programming language to seek a career in the IT industry. Divya, how to get the certificate? That you will get to know on the last day itself. How much DSA is useful for placement, sir? At least some of the fundamental data structures and the sorting algorithms and searching algorithms should be known. Now, if you would like to get in as a developer, that too in a product-based company or in a startup company. Mamta, even for full stack development, you need Java, you need a programming language at the back end. Okay. Anything else for me, everyone? All right, then. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me. And I think we will be together in this journey for another 2 more days. So tomorrow also, please make sure all of you, please join the session exactly at 7 o'clock. I get connected at around 6:55. Then at 7:05, I start speaking. I have to wait till 7:15, only then start with the technical discussion. So end of the day, it is not my loss. I mean, if anybody here is at the end of receiving loss, it is going to be you people. So make sure all of you join on time exactly at sharp 7 o'clock, and let us commence with the technical discussion for next 2 days. And please be prepared. Friday, there is also going to be an assessment that would be conducted. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. I shall see you all tomorrow. And any question? Rohit, you can try for both, whichever opportunity would give you better perks, you can go with that, because both are in demand. Monica, I have asked a couple of interview questions. Now is not the time to discuss. What if I have interest in both? I want your suggestion. Both has a scope, Rohit. That is why I was trying to tell you it is your call. As of now, you can be prepared for both, and you can keep applying for both and see. Once you crack some opportunities, you can then have a very transparent view to compare their perks, company, the pay package, the job location, the career hierarchy going forward. That is what you'll be able to do. Right, then, thank you so much, people, and all of you can leave for the day. Another 2 more days, the training is going to continue. Friday, there would also be an assessment. Thank you, everyone, and have a great dinner, and good night. Thank you so much.
So my dear participant, don't worry about the certification next program. So on the Friday session, we'll explain that. Okay. So for today, bye bye. Have a nice time.